All right, is it worth doing 20 years in the military? That's a great question that was recently posed to me by someone who was about to hit their 10-year mark and they weren't sure whether or not they should get out of the military and start a new career, possibly go to college, or stick it out for another 10 years and hit that 20-year mark. My answer went a little something like this. It all depends. It depends on your ambition. It depends on your goals. Okay, unless you're going to get out and start your own business, be your own CEO, and work for yourself, you're most likely going to be working for somebody else again, which means probably going to have to learn a new skill for that new job, unless you're going to get into something that you're related to your MOS. Or you may find that work life in the civilian world is a lot different than work life in the military. Now, you could potentially make a lot more money in the civilian world, but understand that you will no longer get BAH. You will no longer get your medical and dental expenses covered. You will no longer get tuition assistance, and you potentially could lose out on things like tax-free commissary and exchange benefits. Now, keep in mind, when you're in the military, all those things are covered. Now, once you retire, you'll get a pension for the rest of your life. You may also rate VA disability compensation that goes on top of that. So you'll be getting most likely 2 paychecks every single month. Now, if you've done your homework the right way, you've gotten your degrees via tuition assistance, you've done your networking while you were in uniform, you most likely could land a very high-paying job after you leave the service. Now, I'll share this a little bit with you. When I applied for my retirement from the Marine Corps, I sent out a text to a few friends just finding out what their availability was, possibility of them attending my retirement ceremony. Now, all these folks were civilians already. They had gotten out at 4 years and 8 years, and none of them really hit their 20-year mark. And a lot of them came back saying, man, how fast 20 years went by. And one of them even said, man, I'm kicking myself in the ass for not sticking around for 20. Because then I'd be getting a paycheck too for the rest of his life. So these are all things that you got to think about. You know, if it felt good to hit that 20-year mark because I knew that things were going to be set for me and my family. So again, I'll put it out there. This all depends on your situation. Are you willing to put the time and effort to navigate the full 20 years and work on yourself, on your education, your networking, your saving, your investing? Or would you rather leave a little early, go to college, start a new career, learn something new, and see how it goes? But ultimately, if you ask me, I'll tell you that doing 20 years was definitely worth it. It's nice to have all my bills, my mortgage, and everything else covered. And on top of that, I'm young enough to have started a new career where all that entire income goes towards savings, goes towards all my investing, and simply enjoying time with my family.